Is Donald Trump being kept awake by a mystery zapper? That bizarre theory is exploding online after the president was filmed appearing to nod off during an Oval Office event. And the internet has now found a new target for its jokes, a woman standing behind the president who some viewers believe may have been secretly tasked with waking him up. The footage from the August 10th Oval Office event shows Trump sitting as officials discussed his childhood vaccine policy. At several points, his eyes appeared to close for extended periods, and that is when eagle-eyed social media users spotted something they thought was even stranger. A woman standing behind the president appeared to move her hand toward her stomach whenever Trump seemed to drift off. Then, according to viewers, Trump's eyes appeared to open wider. Cue the internet conspiracy machine. Within hours, users were joking that the woman had a hidden zapper designed to jolt Trump awake whenever he started nodding off. One post claimed, "presses zapper on her stomach and it zaps Sleepy Dawn awake." Another user wrote that her hand appeared to move up when Trump seemed to fall asleep and then back down again, dubbing her the bobblehead zapper girl. Another post joked that the woman next to Trump was pressing a button on her stomach to wake him up and simply called her the zapper. It was the kind of theory social media loves. However, there is no evidence that any such buzzer or zapper exists, and several users quickly pointed that out. One questioned how the woman could possibly monitor Trump's eyes from behind him. Another noted that if someone really had the job of secretly waking up the president, doing it while cameras were rolling would hardly be the smartest way to operate. So what people are seeing is real footage. The alleged zapper, that remains an internet theory. And the woman at the center of it is not some mysterious White House employee. She is Jamie Leag Franklin, a 27-year-old conservative media entrepreneur and commentator. Franklin has not publicly commented on the bizarre zapper claims, and there is no established evidence that she was carrying or operating a device designed to wake Trump. But the theory has gone viral partly because of Trump's own history. For years, Trump repeatedly attacked Joe Biden over his apparent drowsiness. He branded the former president Sleepy Joe and used Biden's perceived lack of energy as a political weapon. Now the tables have turned.
Today's a historic day for public health in this country. The executive order recognizes the plight of millions of parents across the country with autistic children. Autism is a very complicated condition with very heterogeneous, ranging from relatively mild symptoms where kids are full functioning to a devastating condition that fundamentally alters their lives and the lives of their families. You've heard from Secretary Kennedy and from the President their passion for the plight of these families, to see how we can help them understand the condition, to help prevent those conditions from happening in the first place. And what this executive order does is it orders us at HHS to take this extremely seriously, as we have been for the last year and a half and more of the presidency. At the NIH, what we've done is we have established the Autism Data Science Initiative, which started almost a year more, actually more than a year ago, where we funded a dozen and more major research teams to answer the question of what is the cause of autism. It's a complicated biological phenomenon. It's not going to be a simple answer. It will have, as the Secretary said, potentially genetic predisposition, but that cannot possibly explain why we've seen such a large rise in autism. There must be some other environmental factors involved, and that's the basis for thinking that's driving these dozen and more research teams that are looking at this. The science takes time. It's very frustrating, and I know I felt that frustration myself. As a scientist, you don't get answers immediately, but the teams have been working assiduously for a year. And the main thing I want to emphasize that we've already accomplished in that year is we've changed how people and the scientific community thinks about autism. You've given them permission to ask the question that would otherwise have been difficult to answer otherwise. If you come to an answer that links autism to some other politically correct things, and you all of a sudden have this link, as a scientist, you fear that your career is going to be over. What we've done in this administration is we've given permission to scientists to honestly answer this question, to find the link for the first time. And with the change in the vaccine recommendations that the President has signed, what you have given is parents a choice, autonomy, a decision-making over how they want the vaccines given to their kids. I mean, I believe fundamentally that many vaccines are important. I've said measles, for instance, the measles vaccine is important if we want to take control of the measles outbreak. But at the same time, we shouldn't be keeping kids out of school because they have made different decisions than other parents. Our European colleagues don't do that. A lot of the collapse in trust in public health has come because of these mandates that we've seen imposed during the Biden administration on the COVID vaccine and so many other things. What this does is it restores autonomy of families and parents to make good decisions for their kids. It allows and continues to emphasize the importance of science in recommendations about vaccines, and fundamentally restores a sort of a healthy relationship between public health and parents, more in line with what happens in European countries than in the United States, where the childhood outcomes are often much better than we see here. It's a big first step that and that builds on what we've been working on the last year and a half toward a more sane public health system that sees healthy kids grow up without pressure, without undue influence, to make good decisions for their families and for their kids.
Thank you, Jay. Steve, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Because of your courage and leadership, Mr. President, millions of parents all over America today are breathing an enormous sigh of relief. I say this as the parent of young children myself. Millions and millions of parents feel they've been pressured when their children are just weeks out of the hospital to take 5 shots, 6 shots, 7 shots all at once. They're told it'll be normal. Your kid will have a fever of 103 for 3 or 4 days. Your kid will stop eating for a week. Your kid's going to change all their sleeping. Don't worry, it's totally fine. It's totally normal. Nobody has studied it. Nobody's looked at it. Nobody's thought about it. The pressure from the pharmaceutical industry and from aspects of the medical industry to pump your kids full of shots days after birth with no understanding of the long-term consequences has been a medical travesty. This is an issue, Mr. President, that you have been leading on for years, and of course the man to your left has been leading on this issue for years as well, too. It's a really incredible moment to stand here today and finally see the concerns of parents around this country addressed. There's been so much heartache where parents have had healthy children with no issues. They know they've been pressured into doing things that they didn't want to do, and medical science has told them for years that their concerns are not valid.